least good enough to get this thing going right. So listen, man, listen. Young people, stay out of trouble, stay out of prison, man. If you ever been, if you ever been to jail, if you ever been to prison, please don't go back, man. If you've never been, please do not go. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, man. Um, Thankful for y'all that's enjoying in so far. Oh, this viral calling in now. Viral.
Leo,
Yes, sir.
what's up, cuz?
Hey, what's up, my brother? We on this live, man. I've
I
been.
got Amy over here.
Hey, Amy, how you doing, Amy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good there. All is well for you.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, you just need to bring him home, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Then, hey, Varo, we on live, man. It's gonna be a few more people to tune in. I'm pretty sure, but we on YouTube live right now, and the people tuning in, man. They wanna hear your story. So if what I would like to do is, to do this like every week for the next, probably at least about the next month, so they can really get an understanding of, you know, where you was at age. How old was you when you got locked up, Viro?
I was 19 when I started committing my crime, but I got locked up when I was 20.
So you was 19 at the time you started committing your crimes,
Yeah,
and you got locked up at age 20.
yeah. I got locked up when I was 20, and I got locked up for 9 bank robberies, 9 armed bank robberies. No weapons was ever fired, discharged, not like nobody never seriously injured. But they had offered me a plea originally for 10 years, but the 10 years was cooperate. I turned the 10 years down, and I was gonna take a plea for 30. But they had a clause in the plea that if anybody was like, going to 10 trial or go to trial, whatever, that I had to go to court against me and my codies. So once we found that out, we had to do an evidentiary hearing, gave the pleas back, and we went to trial. And I went to trial to give me 226 years.
Okay, so listen. So a lot of people that's gonna hear your story, they gonna have to like process and understand what it is that you're saying, right? So at age 19, you're saying that you started committing the bank robberies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then go ahead.
Now go ahead. I'm with you.
And then at so 9 bank robberies, nobody was hurt. No weapon was ever discharged, right?
Yeah.
And what year was this when the first bank robbery took place?
In 1996.
1996. That's so that's right at almost 28 years ago, right there.
28 years.
Yeah, 28.
December 20 will be 28 years.
Okay, and then from the first bank robbery to the last bank robbery, what was the time period between the first and the last one?
6 months.
6 months. So really, in essence, the justice system have judged you from being a teenager to 6 months worth of bad behavior, bad choices, and basically have sentenced you to a life sentence, 226 years.
Yeah, a de facto life sentence. They call it a de facto life sentence because it's not a natural life sentence in the sense that, when they give you life in the feds or life in the state without parole, and the feds, they give you numbers. So I got sentenced to a mandatory minimum. And, the Congress, since they changed it, since Trump did the 2018 First Step Act, they did away with that. But only thing, they didn't make them retroactive. And meaning not retroactive. From the day they signed that bill on forward, the people who was coming in behind me with cases like mine, they weren't getting the stacking charges, which was what I was enhanced under, the 924C. So they did away with that. Go ahead.
Okay. So now a lot of people in general, tend to think that you can only get that much time if you have had like prior convictions of some sort. But from my understanding, the only thing you had on your record was traffic tickets, right?
I had weed charges. I had got caught with a dime bag of weed. I ain't have no major nothing on my record.
A dime bag of weed. Okay, so that's still very, very minor. Like a dime bag of weed, like that's really nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, minor charge.
Okay, so.
But see, let me tell you, let me, because I know the young people, right? They listening, and you know what I'm saying. You probably got some conservatives, some liberals, you know what I'm saying, educated people, whatever the case may be. But it's just the thing, and people, they tend to not see color. You know what I'm saying, the realities of where we at in this United States. But you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to the laws, and me personally, I agree with crime and punishment. When you commit a crime, you should get time, like you know what I'm saying. But the time got to fit the bill. And when it come to us, the mandatory minimums, them guidelines that they came up with, it was never in place for common people like me, for small people like, you know what I'm saying, in the hood, and you know what I'm saying, people doing small little crime. You ain't necessarily got to be in the hood, man, just whatever it is. But them charges that they letting us under, them crimes was made for kingpins. And we feeling the blunt of it, because it's like with the charge I'm locked up under. Now when the prosecutors get a case like mine, right? Mm-hmm. They could either impose or not impose an enhanced sentence. And see, the reason why I was saying that's in place for, kingpins and mob type dudes, because them dudes had a code of silence, so they never would talk. So what they use the guidelines to do, where they can enhance you to, astronomical numbers, you know what I'm saying, it'll put you in the aspect that you never going home. When they tell you that you're going to get 75 years or 100 years de facto life sentence. So then, dudes' brains start switching, they start clicking. And they start thinking about what they're going to lose, and they not thinking about the vows of the oath they made to the person they was with. And I ain't saying it's right or wrong, whatever you're doing, but, you know what I'm saying, if you commit, knowingly going to some type of agreement with whoever you're going in with, then you got to honor that. It don't matter what the outcome is. You know what I'm saying? It could be sugar, it could be shit, but whatever the outcome is, you got to ride with it.
Okay, so, you mentioned the stacking laws. Now, me and you done talked about the stacking laws before. And you done broke it down to me to where I kind of understand it, but for the general public, can you explain to them what the stacking laws is?
The stacking laws, man, it's a gun charge, and see, they got two categories of guns. They got a 922G. The 922G is imposed on people who previously been convicted of a firearm. You know what I'm saying? It's like a habitual offender law. But the 924C, they put that in place in '68 when Dr. King and Kennedy got assassinated. So what they did, Senator Poffy introduced it on the floor, and the Senate Congress, they adopted it. So it went from being like something that was minor to something that was major, and it's an add-on to whatever sentence you got. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your predicate offense is, if it's drugs, if you're selling drugs, or it's a robbery and it's a gun involved. They did that to enhance the guns, so it deterred the criminal from using the gun. You know what I'm saying? And the stacking part, they run it all. They run it all in the same crime. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like I went to trial. So the way when you look at my case, it looked like I went to trial 9 different times, but I didn't. They tried me all in one. They're supposed to be in a common scheme, so it's not a common scheme. They got away from it. If I'd been to the state, I would have had 6 years and 7 months in the state joint.
Right. Okay. So for the people that's listening, right? I had a 922G, which was converted to 924E, which is armed career criminal. That's what I was sentenced under, armed career criminal, right? But what I used to see in the system is a lot of people that had a drug charge and they had the gun with it, the 922G, where that would be time added on to the back end of the drug charge.
Exactly.
So I used to see people that might get 10 years for the drug charge, but then they get another 5 years for the gun charge. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw them everywhere in the system, right? But in your case, for each count of bank robbery, 9 bank robberies, for each count, they did this on each count.
On each count, they break it down. Look, they gave me see, these the codes. I got it's 2113A, 2113D. 2113A is robbery. You know what I'm saying? It's robbery. So it's like you going there with a note, it's a robbery. And then 2113D is armed robbery. So they factor in the gun. So in that note right there, I was already being charged for the gun. So they gave me 21 years. But now the 924C penalty it's an add-on, it's an enhancement. So they take the gun from the 924C and split them up, and they take the same gun that they gave me 21 years for, and say they sentence me or enhance me independently for their gun, and they give me 205 years. They gave me 5 years for the first one, and then they gave me 20 years consecutive after that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now,
yeah, so it busts down. That's how I end up with 226 years. Because they gave me 205 years for the same gun they gave me 21 years for.
Okay. So in essence, for those of you that's listening, what happened is for one gun charge, he was sentenced 9 times, essentially, for one gun charge, where his sentence would have been like 21 years. It was multiplied to 226 years. You see what I'm saying? So what happened years later is probably about 7 or 8 years ago. Then they outlawed the stacking law. When did they outlaw the stacking law?
In 2018.
Okay.
Trump passed the First Step Act, and the First Step Act was a compromise bill. The Democrats had a bill called the Safe Justice Act, and the Republicans was pushing around different little bills that they wanted to get through. But you know, the House and the Senate was divided. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like when Obama was in there, the Democrats, they controlled the House and the Senate, and that bill could have got passed then, but it didn't. And he had veto power. He could have run around and did it. But see, with the compromise bill, with the First Step Act, when Trump got in there, Trump set him down. He was like, man, what's important to y'all, the Republicans, as the Democrats, what's important to them? So they all came up with what's important to them. They merged the bill together. That's how they came up with this. See, the Democrats, they wanted to make the 924C that they added in there retroactive. But the Republicans, they didn't go for it. So, you know, nevertheless, it was good that they passed it because the people coming behind me, they not going to be sentenced like me. They not being sentenced like me. I see the dudes coming in there. That was 2018. They changed it. The only thing is, with my situation, is the discretion of the courts. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to do it and look at the cases or not. And some of them, a lot have been doing it because it was like 3,700 people when they passed the First Step Act with the 924C stacking. Now it's under 2,000. So the courts, they have been doing it. But what they did last year, November the 1st, the Sentence Commission, they came up, which is all made up of federal judges. The Sentence Commissions, they came together and, you know, they decided on the sentencing policy. So what they came up with the reform to the 924C, they just busted down like this. They said that if you've been locked up past 10 years on an unusually long sentence, that, you know what I'm saying, the judges can look at your case now and review it. And, you know, it's based on them. If they got the authority to look at your case and overturn your case, and a lot of dudes been getting sentenced to time served. It's a dude who I was, you know what I'm saying, he was in the system. His name Adam Clausen, white dude, good dude out of Philly. He had 213 years. He came in after me. He on the street. He been home 4 years. He been home ever since the bill changed. You know what I'm saying? Just the circuits is divided, and the feds under the sense of God, they're supposed to be uniform. You know what I'm saying? So what happened in Kentucky is the same thing. You see what I'm saying? The same thing should happen in New York. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? It ain't being applied like it, and it's just like, you know, they cherry picking whoever the judge or whatever circuit you fall in. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, this like the luck of the draw, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just waiting right now because I got a new judge, the first female in Louisville. So you know what I'm saying? I'm banking on that. Everything is in my favor, man. Okay, so look, take a pause real quick. For those of you that just chimed in, okay. The voice that you hear speaking right here is Mr. Maurice Navarro Brooks, right? He been incarcerated since 1996, since he was a teenager. He been incarcerated since he was a teenager for 28 years on a 226-year sentence. Previous to this incarceration, the only thing that he had on his record was for a dime bag of marijuana. And so he's been fighting to, you know, get this unjust sentence overturned so that he could be sentenced fairly. You know what I'm saying? Because what they did was essentially they tried to make an example out of him, and they sentenced him to 226 years when in essence his sentence should have been around maybe 20 years or even less. You know what I'm saying? I know people that got bank robberies, man, that didn't even get 20-year sentences. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know that when I was in the system, I saw a lot of times with the 922
see. But with the stacking laws, man, and it being changed, how many people do you know, whether by looking it up through case law or that you know personally, that had the same charges as you and got sentenced under the stacking laws, but they got out now?
It's you know, I'm seeing a lot of new dudes come into the system. Like I said, I've been gone since '96, and since the First Step Act passed, which was 2018, and you know, last year, November the 1st, when the law went into effect, the dudes coming in now, they not getting the time that we get. They still getting time now, 20 years, you know what I'm saying, 15 years, it's a whole lot of time, you know what I'm saying? But compared to when we came in back in the 90s and the early 2000s, they not getting that time. Right. So it's a dude right now, he got 18 robberies. He got double the amount of robberies I got. They had gave him 32 years. When they changed them laws, they busted down from 32 to 20. So he still got a long time. He only been locked up like 2 or 3 years. Dude out of DC here, they gave him 20 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Had I been sentenced today, I wouldn't even have had that much. I probably had 12 years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I've been going home, you know, 85%. So I really wouldn't get no whole 12 years.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where it's at right now. But you know what they doing? They making changes, man. But the only thing is holding the changes back that they making is the old judges who's still in power, man. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who don't want to, you know what I'm saying, reform to what's going on now. Because times change, man. Even the races, you see it in here. It ain't divided like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? All whites here, all black there, and then, you know what I'm saying, the racial tension. It's not like it, you know what I'm saying, in here no more, man. Times change, and like they said, we're microscopic of society, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on out there? It's the same things going on in here. The drug problem, you know what I'm saying, the epidemic with the right. fentanyl and all that. It's the same thing. So, you know what I'm saying, we're a reflection of y'all just on a smaller scale. So we see the issues that's going on. We keep up with the politics. We keep up with the religion. We keep up with all that. So, you know what I'm saying, we be in here, we brainstorm. And you know what I'm saying, we keep our ear to the ground, but most importantly, man, we try to move and try to educate the people, because, you know, a lot of people get breaks, man, when it comes to the races. And you know what I'm saying, people be scared, like they scared to see color. You gotta always see that, man, because it's real. And then, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day, that, you know, the Sentence Commission, they had put out a survey, and from the keeping up with the sentence and how people was being sentenced. It's a lot of white dudes. When you look at paper, it's a lot more white dudes who get really locked up, you know what I'm saying, for 924 keys, but they don't get sentenced to the stacking because the courts waived them sentences on them. I was locked up when I was going through court, and the white dude had came down. He had the same type of charge I had, and they didn't give him the stacking. And he was asking me why they gave him. He was like, damn, they didn't do it. I'm saying, yeah, but see, me and you different. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't impose them on you, because they know they're gonna give you a life sentence. They don't want to do you like it. But when it comes to somebody else who they feel is not important, they do that. The only good thing is now that they changed the law, so they can't do it.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? But
that racial disparity, man, it is. I mean, that racial disparity. Sometimes it's so obvious. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
So look, so for any young people that might listen to this video, I know you went in and you went to the penitentiary, and a lot of people. Okay, let me break this down real quick, because I talk about this sometimes on my channel, right? But a lot of people think that the feds is supposed to be some cupcake soft place that you go, not understanding that there's levels to the feds. You know what I'm saying? All the way at the lowest custody level, you got camps, and you got low, you got medium. You go all the way up, and you go to penitentiary. They sent you straight to a penitentiary, which is exactly which is where a lot of your violence take place. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your you know what I'm saying, your most violent inmates and convicts. What was it like for you being so young, getting locked up in the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary, and like walk us through your first day there at the Atlanta Federal Pen?
See, my experience, you know, I was fortunate, right? And I was guarded because I was the youngest dude in Atlanta on the compound at the time when I pulled up. When the bus just first pulled up, where, you know, like they unpack all the inmates, let all of us off, whatever. They didn't even want to let me on their yard because I was so young. So they thought that they had made a mistake sending me there. They thought I was supposed to went to the camp. So when they read and seen my sentence, they was like, "Nah, this is him. This is he supposed to be here." So when I went to the inside, you know, back then they had captain review, so you had to do 30 days in the shoot till they make sure you ain't testified on nobody or you ain't got no, you know what I'm saying, case where you mess with no kids. You know what I'm saying? That stuff like it. So they had to verify you before they put you out there so you wouldn't be in harm's way. But my thing was I had met a dude, you know what I'm saying, coming through transit. And me and him, we got cool. He was an old head out of New Jersey. And he gave me a note, you know what I'm saying, to get him Matula. So when I got there, his Pac's stepfather, Dr. Matula Shakur, he's the one who raised me in the system. So when I was in there, the captain and them, they just come back there to check on me, you know what I'm saying, give me the ropes. But they had them dudes waiting on me when I came out. That's why I was saying I was forcing it because God been with me my whole walk, man. You know what I'm saying? When I came out there, I had a group of Muslim brothers and Matula and all them, they was waiting on me. So when I got out, they snatched me up. They made sure I was guarded. So, you know what I'm saying? In that sense, I was cool. But outside of my bubble, I seen all the violence and everything to take place. You know what I'm saying? The assaults on the COs, the COs assaulting the dudes killing each other. I seen dudes get killed. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, for me, it was a shocking experience. But in the same token, I was always safeguarded just by God putting Matula in my path. You know what I'm saying? So I was always cool on that tip. I never had to experience that, like, you know what I'm saying, stabbing and all. I ain't, you know, personally, physically, I ain't never go through that. You know what I'm saying? So I came in and the path they put me on was about redemption, man, and rehabilitation. And that's all I've been on since I've been in here, man.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you, man, like when you go to prison and you young, man, it can go one or two ways because you, and I just talked about this in a story probably about a week or two ago, is that sometimes you can find that kind of guardianship where you know you'll have some people that kind of put that barrier around you. But then in other cases, man, if you ain't got a group of strong men there, then, you know, I done seen what dudes get, you know what I'm saying, picked on and taken advantage of and stuff like that. And it's a different scenario, right? And so when you came in, I'm assuming that, you know what I'm saying, that these brothers started like pouring into you and stuff like that. So I'm assuming too that they also helped you to start working on your case and your appeals and stuff like that. Can you tell us about it?
And you know, I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm giving credit, like, you know what I'm saying, I give a lot of credit to Matula and, you know what I'm saying, the other brothers who was like, you know what I'm saying, played a role in my life. But at the same time, you know, people look at the COs, like all the COs been like, you know what I'm saying, messed up, but they wasn't, because they played a vital role in me being in here too, because there was a lot of women who was older and they looked at me like a kid, like, you know what I'm saying, they was sheltering me, and then was like the old head COs who was cool and knew that I wasn't supposed to be in that environment. You know what I'm saying? They made sure that I was good, man. That's what I was saying. But some people who came in with me, they weren't that fortunate. They didn't have people looking out for them. So I seen them fall out to the wayside, man. You know what I'm saying? Get caught up in stuff, caught up in drama, get in worse situations, dig holes. Like, I seen it. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate enough not to have to go down that path. But like you saying, the difference between the lows, the camps, the mediums, and all, and then you talking about the penitentiary, man. Everybody in there is facing life forever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You rarely see dudes go home. Like, when I made it to a lower custody, I started seeing a lot of people go home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just left Talladega. A lot of people went home. Now I'm in Manchester. So a lot of people go home. People going home, man. You know what I'm saying? And times change, man. The people change. You know what I'm saying? Everything is like, you know what I'm saying? It's heading on the up and up. But one of the weaknesses that I see from the dudes who coming in back when I was in, the dudes coming in now, it's like dudes, they not coming in with their alpha male mentality. They not coming in with them strong like vibes. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? They coming in and you know, we used to have classes where we were saying like how to crack destroyed the fabric of the black communities, you know what I'm saying? And they did, dog. They made a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? It made, like, you know, it took all the fathers out of households. So dudes being raised by women, you know what I'm saying? Dudes, they out there trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? They being influenced by music, by that which is not real, you know what I'm saying? And the men is finally starting to come back home, man. You know what I'm saying? So when they start coming out there and then the young dudes got something to galvanize around, you know what I'm saying? I really think it'll change, but that was the whole point of it anyway for them, you know what I'm saying, back in the 90s, man, and taking people, you know what I'm saying, strong black men out of the community. They wanted to water it down, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
it made everything else weak, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. You see it now, just reflecting, man. Dudes got the mentality like they've been raised by women, man. It's you know, the times are different, the end's different. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different, bro.
Okay. So so over the course of these 28 years, man, I can say this too. Let me rewind a little bit. Right. Because I know when you went away on your bid, I was in state prison. You know, me and you had, you know, met and you know, ran together for a little minute before I went to state prison. But while I was in state prison, that's when you caught your charge. And I remember getting out of state prison, and I remember you having these charges. And I remember coming to visit you when you was in I came to visit you in Louisville. And I remember you telling me that the NAACP was, like, you know, trying to work on helping you get out, working on your case and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it went, or what happened with that? You know what I'm saying?
I had my clemency in, and it's a woman. She down in Florida. I call her like my grandmother, Beverly Neal. She was vice president of the Orlando chapter, and we had people come in when I was in Coleman 1. So she had ushered in Hillary Shelton. He's the national director of the NAACP. So he came in, I developed a relationship with him. And he got behind me, you know what I'm saying, was trying to push it, you know what I'm saying, get things done and with the clemency process. But the only thing was the block to that, they said they wasn't taking cases that had anything to do with firearms. Because everything that was going on in the country then with them mass shootings and stuff like that, so they didn't really want to get involved with the guns. So that's the only thing that really like held that up.
Right. So because of that block, I guess, and them not handling cases that was dealing with firearms, then the NAACP basically took their hands off of the case, or what?
No, they ain't really took their hands off. Their hands was tied because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's on the pardon attorney to what the outcome gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they just, the pardon attorney, them, I guess, whatever was going on at the time, they was looking at certain cases they want to do, basically like nonviolent drug offenses, dude who had life for nonviolent drugs, or, you know what I'm saying, marijuana charges, who had life, you know what I'm saying, or draconian type sentences. They looked and reviewed them cases, and they let a lot of them dudes out, and, you know, it was warranted that they deserved that, you know what I'm saying, second chance. But now we talking about me being locked up to laws, this unconstitutional laws that been changed. You know what I'm saying? They can't, you know what I'm saying? It's going to come a time, man, where y'all got to just, you know what I'm saying, give everybody they just do. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm waiting on. Give me my just do, because I'm being held under laws that, you know what I'm saying, it's no longer constitutional.
You know, statistics say that we make our worst decisions, our worst choices in life between the ages of 16 and 25. They say we make the worst choices. They say we make the worst decisions between the ages 16 and 25. That's what statistics show. You know what I'm saying? And
listen,
to me,
listen, hold up, listen, because I mean, I'm glad you brought it up, right? Because right now in the news, they got the Mendez brothers. I don't know if you familiar with their case, or if you seen it on the news, like.
I remember.
But I remember. Like, you remember that?
Yeah.
So now you got Kim Kardashian behind that case. The dude out there, Gavin Newsom, he replaced Kamala Harris when she left him out there. He the DA out there. So all of them, they saying that they should have taken into account the mitigating factors. And that's the same thing that you're saying right now. You know what I'm saying? With the DC circuit is doing up there when they letting all them dudes out who was up in Lawton, and they caught all them cases, life sentences when they was young, juvenile and stuff like. They saying that that's a part of the mitigating factor. You know what I'm saying? You got to factor in the characteristic of the mind frame of the defendant. And some of them they was considered juveniles under 21, and the DC they push it up to 25. So if they had caught their case before the age of 25, they saying that their mind wasn't fully developed. And whatever shape their decisions you know what I'm saying, that you got to take into account, whether it was somebody being molested or, you know what I'm saying, they had a drug habit, whatever the case may be, they was poor, whatever the case may be, they supposed to factor all that in from somebody who young opposed to somebody who was old enough to make the, you know what I'm saying, their choice. So that's what they doing with the Menendez brothers. They've been locked up over 30 years, and right now they ready to be in a position of going home because they said they've been locked up long enough. They killed their parents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if they killed both of their parents and they feel like they've been locked up long enough, then, you know what I'm saying, they got to look at me as being, you know what I'm saying, locked up long enough. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, like I said, man, the times are changing, but the mitigating factors that you talking about, man, they need to be talked about.
Exactly. Because age do play a factor, man, because I can think back to some stuff I did, man. Thank God I didn't get caught for when I was a teenager, man, that would have put me in prison for life, you know what I'm saying? Or at least for a long, long time. And I just think that, you know, that should be taken into consideration. I think that any person that can think logically should be able to look at your case and say, okay, this man was 19 years old. Okay, yes, he committed these bank robberies, but nobody got hurt. No gun was ever shot. No pistol was ever fired. Nothing like that. How did he get these 226 years? I think that anybody with common sense should be able to look at this and say, wait a minute. Okay, this need to be fixed. You know? So I mean,
everybody who hear about the case, man, you know what I'm saying, whether it's just a friend or, you know what I'm saying, just somebody in passing or, you know, whatever the case may be, when they hear about my case, the first thing they ask me is how many people I killed. And I'll tell them I ain't killed nobody. I got bank robbery. A lot of people don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because on the streets, it's like when we get, you know, when you get sentenced to a death penalty, you go through that death penalty phase. They set up a jury for you to see if they gonna convict you for the murder. Now, if they convict you for the murder, their jury's excused. They bring in a whole nother jury because then you're talking about life, limb, and liberty that they gonna take from you. You know what I'm saying? And what they do is they bring another jury to see if, you know what I'm saying, they want the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? And if they do, if they don't. But see, my situation is I was never, you know what I'm saying, sentenced to no death penalty type situation. The jury, they heard my case. The jury was excused. And then I was sentenced to enhanced sentences. That had the jury set in there. They might not have agreed to give me no 200 years. They might have said like, okay, yeah, we feel like he did it, but we don't feel like that he deserved no 200 years. And that's where they leave the jury out and leave it up to the judge and the prosecutor. And you know what I'm saying? That right there is wrong in itself. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about a de facto life sentence. De facto life sentence is life in numbers, man. And you know, you got numbers that you can't do.
Right.
I can't live no 226 years. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. So man, yeah, it's wild, man. And like just knowing you know what I'm saying, and just knowing your family and knowing like where you come from. And I know you're a good person. And we always, you know, kind of just alike with just being, you know, raised in the environment that we was raised in during that particular time. The crack era and all that stuff influenced our decisions in life, man. And man, I just want somebody to be able to look into your case, somebody that can move the needle, somebody that can actually make a phone call, or somebody that can actually you know, reach out to somebody who they know can make that phone call to push the needle, man. Because I know people now that done been in prison that had life sentences, man, that's out now. I know people that had life plus 20, plus 30 that's out now. And some of them people done had like assaults on officers while they was in prison and they out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, you know, just looking at your case, man, it just don't make no sense why you've been there 28 years for exactly. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense, man.
I know Kim Cordes, she pushing them Menendez brothers case. So I'm really trying to, because, you know, I wrote the book about my case, man, when we were young. It's on Kindle and Amazon. So, you know what I'm saying, people listen, they can copy and get a better understanding too, because I break down the dynamics of it.
Say the name of the book again.
When We Were Young.
Okay, When We Were Young, y'all. That's on Kindle, on Amazon. Y'all check it out. When We Were Young by Maurice Navarro Brooks.
Yeah. So it's on there right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I know she behind that case, and really, what I was, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking about that, like, you know what I'm saying, that's the whole point of this, getting the information out and trying to get the right people behind it, man, because this right here, you know, this situation for me, man, like, you know, I went through this walk, and, you know I done seen my transformation from when I was young coming in, and I was never no bad dude, no way. I just made some bad choices, but, you know what I'm saying, for me to be here this long and facing, you know what I'm saying, the amount of time left, you know what I'm saying, it's unnecessary. So I think it's really, you know, trying to find the right people, man, to get behind my case, to get me out of here, because like you saying, man, I done seen the same people with my type of situation and worse, man, go home. So, you know what I'm saying, I know if it's good for them, like it was wanted, though, because a lot of dudes came here young, you know what I'm saying, they was caught in their life, because the 90s, man, when that drugs was out, it was a lot of drug wars, and dudes was getting caught up in drug wars that they ain't even understand. You know what I'm saying? You just on the wrong side of town, you're on the wrong team. You know what I'm saying? So back then it was more violent than it is now. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in the street. Right now, the only balance is with the street is the access they got to them guns. We didn't have access to guns like it. Our balance was different. You know what I'm saying? And it targeted, like we went to the person, whoever you had a beef with. But nowadays, they just picking up guns and just shooting just because they got them. And that's the only difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't never have access to nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So the socioeconomics, you know what I'm saying, it changed and it play a part of the decision making that people got going on in their music. See, people don't really understand their music. You know what I'm saying? The influence they have on people. Back in the day, the rappers wanted to be the street dudes. Now the street dudes want to be the rappers.
Yeah. Man, that make a lot of sense, man. And I really pray that, you know, somebody on this social media, because I'm gonna blast this out, man, to all the social media platforms. Hopefully this go crazy on YouTube. Everybody that's listening to this, man, y'all please share this with at least 5 people. Y'all share this with at least 5 people. You got 5 family members or 5 friends. Share this video, and especially if you know somebody that's in the justice system, that you know that works, a judge or a DA, especially somebody that's involved in the federal system. Even if it's just a correctional officer, whoever it is, share this with somebody, man. Share this with at least 5 people. And what we're gonna do, Varro, is next week, same time, man. Next week, same time. Let's do it again. Like we'll let the people.
Just make sure we gonna have the information to my wife. They can contact my wife, Amy. She's on here too. So you know what I'm saying. Any information that need to be passed, you know what I'm saying. Mio, you can make sure you give them the information or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Her email or whatever whatever you need. You know what I'm saying. They get it. You can get it to her.
Right. Okay. And man, anybody listening to this video, y'all can reach out to me. You know, and whoever I need to, you know, put them in contact with, then I'll make sure that happens. And Varro, if you can, I'm gonna get some next week when we do it, I'm gonna put a picture up of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put a picture up of you so people can get a visual, man, of who you are, man. And even if it's something in particular that you want me to read about your case or something like that, then you can just send it to me or whatever, and we'll read it on live or whatever, man. And we're gonna go a little bit deeper next week to help connect the dots so that people understand, you know what I'm saying, your case. And I think that after we do this, you know what I'm saying, for a few weeks, people gain a better understanding of, you know, how you got this sentence and about the laws that should have already freed you by now. So we're gonna keep doing it, man. And Amy, we thank you for, you know, just sticking by his side and just hang in there, because freedom is coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely. So Varro, you got anything you want to say to the people, or any young people, man, or anybody that's just kind of wilding out right now, that's on the verge of going to prison?
Man, listen, you know, you got to prioritize your life, man. What's important to you, and keep it, man, centered in your life, and don't get caught up into the friendships, because a lot of friendships is false. You know what I'm saying? So the family is the most important thing in our life. It don't seem like, I know we bump heads with our families, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, but you got to keep your family first. You got kids, you got to be a vital, you know what I'm saying, you got to play a vital role in their life, be there for your kids. You know what I'm saying? If the situation isn't your baby mother, you got to support them. Whatever, man, you got to make that which is important, that got to be your number one goal, man, for your purpose, while you go to sleep and while you wake up.
Okay. Okay. So keep your values in order, man. Y'all know what I always say, young people. Man, if you've been to jail, if you've been to prison, please don't go back. If you've never been, please don't go. And look, this RevMeoTV, Mr. Maurice Navarro Brooks, and we're gonna do this again next week, the same time at 12 noon, and that'll be on November the 2nd at 12 noon. We're gonna do this again, November 2nd at 12 noon. We're gonna do this again. All right. So y'all be blessed, man. All right. Viro, hold on 1 second, brother.